What if the most famous love story in history did not end with a wedding, but began again with silence, distance, and unanswered feelings? Pride and Prejudice returns more emotional, more intense, and more uncertain than ever before. The wind moves gently across the wide green fields of England just as it once did. The world feels calm, almost untouched, like a memory frozen in time. A carriage rolls slowly down a familiar road, past quiet trees and old stone fences. Everything looks the same, yet something feels different. The story we thought was finished is waking up again. Inside a grand house, candlelight flickers against the walls. The sound of soft footsteps echoes through long hallways. Elizabeth Bennet stands near a window, looking out into the fading evening. Her face is unseen, but her stillness speaks louder than words. The joy she once carried feels distant now, like a dream she cannot fully reach. A voice whispers over the scene, gentle but heavy with emotion. Love is not always the ending. Sometimes it is only the beginning. The camera moves through quiet rooms filled with memories, letters neatly folded, a piano untouched, a fireplace burning low. Time has passed, but the feelings have not disappeared. Somewhere within this peaceful life, something remains unsaid. Across the countryside, Mr. Darcy stands alone in the shadow of his estate. The strength in his presence is still there, but so is the weight of something deeper. The silence between him and Elizabeth is not empty, it is full of thoughts, pride, and questions neither dares to speak aloud. The music rises slowly, soft and aching. The world of Pride and Prejudice is back, but not as we remember it. Because even after love, there can be storms. And this time, the heart of the story is not about meeting, it is about holding on. The peace of married life does not last forever. Beneath the soft quiet of grand rooms and beautiful gardens, something unseen begins to grow. A tension, small at first, like a crack in glass. Elizabeth walks through the halls of Pemberley, her steps slow, her hands holding a letter she has not opened. The paper trembles slightly, as if even the words inside carry weight. A voice speaks, low and careful. Time changes many things, but it does not erase what was never healed. The camera shows quick flashes, servants whispering behind closed doors, guests arriving with forced smiles, and long dinners filled with silence. Elizabeth sits beside Darcy, yet the distance between them feels wider than the table itself. They are together, but something is missing. Darcy watches her when she is not looking. His eyes hold questions, regret, and pride that still refuses to bend. He wants to speak, but the right words never come. Elizabeth, once fearless, now holds her thoughts close, unsure if love alone is enough. Then, something unexpected appears. A visitor arrives, someone from the past, or perhaps someone new who brings old wounds back to life. A shadow crossing the doorway, a voice calling a name that has not been spoken in years. Elizabeth turns, frozen, as if the world has shifted beneath her feet. The music darkens. Rain falls outside the windows. The calm countryside now feels cold, filled with secrets. A whispered line cuts through the silence. Some hearts forgive, but they never forget. Darcy stands alone later that night, gripping the edge of his desk, staring at a letter with shaken hands. The camera never shows the words, only the fear in his stillness. Because something is coming. The love story that once felt so certain is now surrounded by doubt. And the question is no longer how they fell in love, but whether they can survive what comes next. The air grows heavier with every passing day. What was once warmth between Elizabeth and Darcy now feels like a quiet battle of unspoken emotions. The camera moves through stormy skies above Pemberley, the trees bending in the wind, as if nature itself can feel the tension inside the house. Elizabeth stands alone in a dim room, holding the same unopened letter. Her breathing is slow, but her heart is loud. A voice whispers over the sound of rain. Sometimes love is not broken by hate, but by silence. Darcy walks through the halls at night, unable to rest. His footsteps echo like distant thunder. He stops outside Elizabeth's door, his hand lifting, then falling again. Pride still stands between them like a wall neither knows how to climb. Quick flashes begin. A ballroom filled with laughter, but Elizabeth's eyes look distant. Darcy watching from across the room, pain hidden behind calm, a stranger speaking softly to Elizabeth, their words unheard but powerful. Whispers spreading like fire through society's tight circles. The music rises sharply. Elizabeth steps outside into the rain, her dress soaked, her hands shaking. She looks up at the dark sky as if asking it for answers. Then Darcy follows. They stand apart at first, both fighting emotions too deep for simple words. The silence breaks with a trembling voice. Was our love enough? Or was it only a dream? Darcy's voice answers, heavy with regret. I gave you my heart, but I never learned how to fully give you my pride. The tension snaps like a thread pulled to heart. Elizabeth turns away, tears falling. Her voice barely a whisper. And I never learn how to stop running from what I feel. The world around them fades. Only two hearts remain, caught between past mistakes and the chance to begin again. The voiceover returns, stronger now. Love is not the end of the story. It is the test. The music reaches its peak. Fast scenes flash one after another. A letter burned in fire. A hand reaching out, then pulling back. Elizabeth walking away through mist. Darcy standing alone, shattered. Because this time, it is not about falling in love. It is about fighting for it. The music softens, but the emotion remains. The screen fills with quick flashes, candlelight trembling, footsteps running through empty halls. A ballroom spinning in blurred motion. Elizabeth's voice whispers like a memory. Some stories do not end. They wait. Darcy stands at the edge of the estate, the wind pulling at his coat, his eyes fixed on the distance. A final letter rests in his hand, unopened, as if the future itself is uncertain. The rain stops. Silence returns. A voiceover speaks, quiet but powerful. When pride rises again, love must choose. Elizabeth turns toward the road ahead, her steps slow but strong. Darcy watches, torn between holding on and letting go. Then darkness. One last line echoes. Will they find each other once more? Pride and Prejudice to 2026, a new chapter begins. Coming soon.